There you go. Please circulate at the appropriate time and stick around, because one of these guys here might be your future boss. Okay, I know there's going to be a big move to move the industry forward, as we always say, and there will be a need for the cadets that are coming out of the mining school. So these, ladies and gentlemen, there are 5 of them sitting at that table. You may sit. Thank you. We hope that you not only enjoy the lunch, by the way, today, but also take away valuable information about the industry, our mining industry, in case you forgot. I suggest that you take advantage of the networking time, particularly after luncheon, so that you can mingle with our guests. And, of course, get to know these guys at that table, the cadets that are coming out of UP NICS. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge our patron who is on her way. She sent me a message that she was coming. I will say hello to her when she comes, so you'll know who she is. If she's here, could you please let me know if you've arrived? No, she's not here. There are VIPs in the audience that I'd like to acknowledge. Rolando Amores, the chairman of Philippine Mining Resources Corporation. Do you mind standing up? There. Chris Acosta, President, Philippine Mining Resources. Johan Radsma, President, Philippine Gold Processing and Refining Corporation. Secretary Horacio Ramos, former Director and Secretary of the DNR. Director of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. And now currently involved with the San Miguel Corporation unit that will soon, I better not say, I'm not supposed to disclose this, the PSE gets involved, but will soon be part of our industry officially. We have Clyde Dale Gillespie, the country manager of St. Augustine Gold and Copper Limited. Jake Foronda, my old friend, Vice President, PBI Resources Development. Jeff Boswell, manager of MRL Gold. Not yet here. And a speaker that we had here a few sessions ago, quite a few. The chairman of FCE Minerals, Ian Holzberger. Good to see you back here. At this point, let me introduce Sandy Gilias. He's a lecturer for market education for the First Metro Securities, and he will give us a stock watch. First Metro Securities, by the way, is owned by Metro Bank and is an online broker at the stock exchange. So let's give Sandy a big hand.
Good afternoon. I'm here to present the stock market side of the topic. Welcome to B2 Gold, and it's listed in Namibia as B2G, in New York as BTG, and in Toronto as BTO. Let's look at the stock price in Canada. It was at $2 per share some years ago, reached a high of 4. And it's currently at 2.5, so it gave you a chance to double your money during that period, plus it gives you a second chance to go and buy more shares now that it's at 2.5. It actually had a more impressive climb from 0.5 all the way to 4. Even if you measure from 0.5 to 2.5, that is a climb of 38% a year for 5 years. So that's the return on your investment over 5 years. And did much better than most Canadian stocks. Down there below, you see that Canadian stocks were just relatively flat over the period, and here is BTO with its outperformance. It's almost as if the Canadian stocks were just like a helicopter flying above treetop level, and BTO is more like an airplane flying high. So that gets you farther and much faster. That's outperformance. It's actually also listed in Germany by affiliation because of their membership in an exchange alliance. So your friends in Germany can buy the stock as 5BG at 1.739 euros at the moment. But let's go take a look at B2 Gold shares in New York. There it's in the so-called NYSE or New York Stock Exchange market, the successor to the American Exchange. And this is the US equities market for fast-growing young companies. It went all the way up there, the usual outperformance, and even it beat the top 30 US industrials. Again, it's as if the top 30 US stocks were just like helicopters skimming above treetop level, and this is the real airplane that gets you places at $2.46 per share. Now, that stock exchange is a combination of the old New York Stock Exchange plus some European exchanges. What they did was to simply shake hands across the ocean and decide to interconnect. Interesting. And the people in Asia also decided it's a good idea. So we now have an ASEAN exchange, which is a handshake agreement between these exchanges, Singapore, Malaysia, and eventually I hope Philippines will join. The interconnection is functioning already. Now, taking a look at this, if I may take a look at the situation in the Philippines for a minute, the top 30 stocks on the Philippine Stock Exchange have indeed been declining since May of this year, from a high of 7,000 plus down to 6,400. But that 6,400 is still way better than the 2,400 level in terms of points back in 2009. So from 2,400 up to the present level, stocks have been up 22% a year for 5 years. Despite that decline that you see, that red line on the upper right. This is the picture of Philippine stocks from the year 1990s to the present. Even if we eliminate these encircled in red, which were abnormal rises, it's still up 11% a year. And this would be my artist's conception of what the future might look like. Of course, many people say there's so many negatives in the Philippine economy that I'll wait and see, because for all you know, it might be falling down like that. But it's a matter of perspective and belief. Sometimes you invest and the price goes down, which is bad. But sometimes you don't invest and the price goes up. So it's really difficult to say. But I think for now, if we, for example, we stick with mining stocks, they've been doing very well. Just the 30 or 20 stocks in the mining index went up about 22% a year from 2004 to the present. The reason for all the excitement is the 7% economic growth, which I think started really to take off in the year 2010. Previous to 2010, our economic growth was somewhere around 4%. Now it's hitting 7 and it's likely to stay at 7 for quite a number of years. So there are people who say, let's go make hay while the sun shines. Let's go from one opportunity to another. Hop from one opportunity to another until you reach success. Of course, there is danger along the way, but it's important, so therefore it's important to keep your eyes open. So this is the optimistic point of view. The pessimistic point of view says that there's more danger than opportunity in the Philippines. There are known minefields, they are bad enough, but what about the unmarked minefields? So, if I were you, I would stick to buying B2 Gold shares of stock. They went up 38% a year for 5 years, beating even the Philippine mining stocks at 22% a year. And so that ends my presentation. Leo, I think you're very important.